welcome back to another reading vlog. I am finally back in the mood of reading. I'm finally out of my reading slump. I think now that things are finally starting to kind of normalize and work is kind of starting to normalize as well, I'm starting to feel a lot better, and I don't know, I'm just back in the mood of reading and wanting to listen to audiobooks, and I'm very excited. So I'm currently focusing on 2 books right now. I am reading an ebook and I am listening to an audiobook. So the audiobook that I am currently listening to, I actually got the recommendation from Hannah because I watched her recent reading vlog and she was listening to this audiobook and she said that it was really good, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. So apparently this is considered a horror, and I am such a wuss. I don't like anything scary. I don't like horror. But recently I have been dipping my toes and wanting to read a little bit more thriller. Like, I'm kind of out of my adult romance binge that I was on, and now I just want to read something gripping and exciting. So I'm really excited to be listening to this one. I am currently on chapter 7. I'm not exactly sure how far that is in the book, but it's telling me that I have about 12 hours remaining. So far, I'm really enjoying it. The narrator is the same person who did Children of Blood and Bone, and I really like her accents. I think she's a really talented narrator, and she just gets the Southern ladies' accents done so well, and I'm very much enjoying it. So far it's we haven't gotten into like the meat of the story. We're still kind of learning about the characters. Oh, I take that back. Actually, we just had a pretty gruesome scene. I take it back. One of the characters got her ear bit off. So we did just kind of have a pretty intense scene. Very strange, but it wasn't too bad actually. Like, there were some parts of it where I was kind of like cringing, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of Stalking Jack the Ripper trilogy, or not trilogy because there's 4 books in the series, the saga. But I really enjoy that series, and there are some scenes that can be kind of graphic and gruesome. So I think I should be able to maybe get through this. Hannah said it wasn't that bad. She said it wasn't too bad. She thinks that I'll be able to listen to it just fine and it won't be too freaky for me. So yeah, I'm really loving it. And I also hear that it's kind of satirical as well, like with the vampire trope, but it's kind of making fun of the tropes of vampires. I don't know. I'm very excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that I'm having a blast listening to. And the next book that I am currently reading is our Muggle Study Book Club pick for May. So I really need to get a move on and read this book because we are at the end of May now. Also, we have picked out books for the remainder of 2020, which we're so excited about. It took us hours to do it because we wanted to have a good range, a good mix, and we kind of wanted to get some really interesting, gripping books, some that are really hyped up. So it is up on Hannah's Twitter. She has it pinned. So I think we had up until July chosen, and now we have August all the way up until December. And I am so excited for the books that we have chosen. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. We've got some really good picks, I think, and hopefully you guys can join us for those books. So like I said, I am currently reading By the Book by Amanda Zealot. I am now currently starting chapter 4, so I have already read like a decent little chunk of it, and I mean, it's okay. I am really enjoying a lot of the references to books like Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice. I think the very first line is Pride and Prejudice, which is really exciting because I've been able to like highlight on here. The main character is just kind of okay, I guess. She's very, I don't want to necessarily say stuck up. I'm having trouble like pinpointing exactly what I think about her. She thinks she's so sophisticated, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't read enough of it. I'm not really connecting with her right now. We'll see. Then we've also met a few other characters, two of them that used to go to the private school with Mary, and one of the girls, oh my god, she is horrible. Like, she's awful. She's so awful. And I was like only on chapter 2, and I remember I was texting Hannah. I was saying like, I can't handle this girl. Like, this is the reason that I don't want to say hate, but this is the reason why I avoid YA contemporary, is because of the just drama and the bitchiness and the unnecessary just meanness and rudeness of characters for no reason. Anyways, this one girl, she's just horrible. She's horrendous. I guess it makes for good reading because it is bringing out some emotions. Now I just met like the group of girls that Mary is going to start, I'm assuming, hanging out with, and these are the girls that are really going to kind of, I guess, be friends with her. And I don't know, it's a very mean girl vibe, you know, like the new girl coming from private school to public school, or homeschool to public school, and trying to navigate that, and then making friends with like the popular girls. We'll see where the story goes. So that's it for right now, and I will update you guys later. Good morning, everyone. Time for another update for this reading vlog. So it's been a few days since I did an update. Today I want to go and unhaul some books that I have. I recently uploaded a video. It should be uploaded by the time you see this, but basically I did kind of like a try a chapter challenge of books that I was debating on potentially unhauling. And of those books, I decided to keep 3 of them. 2 of them I think I'm going to give to someone that I know has young kids that would really enjoy like middle grade books, because they're in such great condition. They're brand new, and I really want to keep it. The other one is The Becoming of Noah Shaw. I just decided to keep it because I was really enthralled as I was reading it. But this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 books that I do want to unhaul right now. I just really want to make some space on my bookshelves for new books, so it is time to just get rid of these. I'm never going to read them, and yeah, it's just time. So the first one is Eon, Dragon Eye Reborn by Allison Goodman. Kevin actually got me this a couple years ago for Husband Buys My Books challenge, and we started it. We are on page 35, and honestly, like, it's just, I'm not interested anymore. Kevin may eventually read it, but he's probably going to listen to the audiobook, honestly. So there's really no need to keep it. So I'm just going to unhaul this because I know I personally will never read it. So I'm going to try seeing if I can sell it back at half price books. And if I can't, then I will donate it to the local public library. Next, I have the first 4 books in the Immortal series by Alison Noel. I read Evermore a while ago, and then I was gifted this series, and it's just, at this point in my life, I don't think I'm going to really read them. I think I may have read the second one, honestly. I don't really remember. I read the first one so long ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate those as well. And the next one I have is The Merlyn Conspiracy by Diana Wynne Jones. I did try reading this, and it's very middle grade, and it just wasn't for me. I read the first chapter and I could already tell that the writing was just a little more juvenile, a little more young, definitely more for a younger audience than myself. So this is another one that I'm going to try and sell back. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on my bookshelf that I want to go ahead and donate. I don't see anything right now, but I think this is a good start to try and get rid of some books. So next, I just wanted to give you an update on my reading progress. I think I've read maybe just another chapter or so in By the Book, and I don't really have an opinion too much right now. It's not the best read so far. Like I said, my thoughts right now are just, it's just not really what I feel like reading. I really just want to read a lot more adult books. So I'm really excited for our June book, which is called By the Beach. No, sorry, Beach Read. Wow. By the Book is what we're reading for May. Beach Reads is what we're reading for June, and we do have a date for our live show for By the Book. It is going to be June 14th, just because of our new schedules. Hannah and I's schedules have been kind of crazy and hectic with, like, you know, things starting to open up again with COVID. So we have to do the live show a little bit later. That's kind of when we both have a good time off at the same time. But hopefully Beach Reads shouldn't take too long to get done. It's like an adult romance. Apparently it's been described to being similar to Red, White, and Royal Blue, which, as you know, is my favorite book, one of my favorite books. So I think I should get through that one really, really quickly. So we're gonna have essentially 2 live shows in June. And then I am also listening to the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying of Vampires, and I have about 4 hours remaining to listen to. And it is getting intense. Like, this is categorized as horror, and there are some scenes that are quite maybe gruesome and graphic, but not necessarily horror. I'm not really getting horror. Maybe because I haven't read a lot of horror, because I'm just such a wuss and I know that I can't watch horror movies, but maybe it's different when you're reading it versus when you're watching it. But like, in my mind, I'm not getting horror. Definitely thrill, but yeah, I will let you know as I get further along in the book and see if it gets to be a little bit more horror-like. But right now, it's not bad. It's really, really not bad. That is it. I am going to take you guys along with me. Since I'm going to be at half price, I might as well pick up a few things. There are a few books that I want to get, but that's going to be for kind of a surprise book haul. So I'm going to go and see if they have anything of what I'm looking for. Hey guys, so as I was loading up these books, I decided that I am going to go ahead and try and sell back The Becoming of Noah Shaw, just because even though I enjoyed it when I was reading it, like I honestly read like 20 pages of it, right, in like one sitting. How much? Yeah, I got to page 25 really, really quick. I just decided, like, honestly, I'm not going to read it. I'm really not going to sit down. I don't see myself actually sitting down, picking it up and reading it, and then reading the other 2 in the series. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it, because there's just so many other books that I really want to read that are just on my radar. I've got tons of books, and it's just, I don't know. If I ever want to read it, maybe I can listen to the audiobook, honestly, but I'm not going to read it. So I'm going to go ahead and just sell it back, and that way someone can actually enjoy it and pick it up. Alright, so I just dropped off my books at half price, and I also did a little bit of shopping. I was able to find what I was looking for, so I'm really excited for that. It is going to take a little longer for them to go like through the books and see which ones they can buy back and which ones I'm gonna end up donating. So what I think I might do now is maybe go to Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is actually around this area, which is perfect because we don't have one really close to our house. It's about like 20 minutes away, and it's in this complex. So I think I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble. I still need to get Beach Read for our Muggle Studies book club, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and go purchase that since I'm in the area, and then hopefully by then they'll be done with my books and I can go home. And I'm currently listening to Southern's Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampire, so I am enjoying that still as I'm listening to it. Sorry if it's super loud, the AC. I like the hypocrisy and like the satire of it. These women in the book club, they essentially are so good. You know, they read these books and they think like these murder mysteries, and they're like, I don't know how like these women didn't realize that, you know, he was the bad guy, and then they don't like see the bad guy right now in front of them. So it's really interesting. I'm just like rolling my eyes. And then the main character's husband, oh my gosh, it's so funny how she just thinks they're just such on like the same track. She's like, yeah, we can like, I can just give him a look and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And he just like does the complete opposite. So I'm just like rolling my eyes with that. It's definitely been enjoyable. Good morning, everyone. So today is probably going to be my last day for this reading vlog, but I do have probably a few clips that I will put in this reading vlog. So currently I took a break from listening to the Southern's Guide. I can never remember how to say it. Hang on. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Wow. So I did listen to a little bit more. Actually, I don't know why I said I took a break, but I have roughly 3 hours left. So I listened to about another hour or so since my last update. But I am really focusing on reading by the book. So I'm currently starting chapter 14. I am roughly halfway through, or almost halfway through, and my thoughts. This book is fairly mediocre, but it makes for a lot of, it's gonna make for a lot of conversation. And I actually have been keeping up a lot of like notes. So I've got like tons of notes that I have highlighted. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that. But I have tons of notes that I have highlighted with like thoughts and questions and like conversation starters. It's just very, very juvenile. This honestly borderlines, I would say, middle grade. I mean, the characters are in high school, they're 16, so it is considered young adult, but honestly, the writing itself, I guess the sophistication of the book is kind of borderline middle grade, in my opinion. I don't read a lot of middle grade, but it's definitely for a younger audience than some of the other young adult books that I've read, I guess. For example, like Stalking Jack the Ripper is young adult, and you know, the Illuminae Files is considered young adult, and like I've read a lot of young adult novels, and this one is honestly, I want to say, kind of borderline to Twilight. And Stephenie Meyer's writing does become more sophisticated as she writes the Twilight books, and especially in the book The Host that she wrote. So but I want to say that like the writing style, the character development, the character descriptions, the way scenes just cut, there's really no good transition in between each chapter and each scene. It's very, very much Twilight-esque, I would say. And that, granted, I believe this is a debut novel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a debut novel. It is a debut. So this is her first book. So I mean, she definitely can, you know, her writing style can improve. They mention in here like one of the characters is 24, and apparently he's like super old and gross, and they're like, ew, gross, he's so old, he's like 24. I'm just like, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it, because I am 30 and I feel old reading this book. And I have read, like I said, a lot of young adult novels have never actually made me feel old. Like I've never felt like out of place reading it. This book, I feel like I just feel old. I feel like it's just not for me and I shouldn't be reading it. As far as the plot is concerned, once again, super mediocre. There's really nothing special, unfortunately. This is probably going to be maybe a 2.5, maybe a 3-star book. Our live show is tonight, so I do need to finish this book today. But I will say it reads extremely quick. So quick. Like, it's the motivation. It's hard for me to be motivated to sit down and read it. But once I actually start reading, I can just knock it out so quickly. I think I read 100 pages in just no time at all. It just reads so fast. There's just no originality, in my opinion, as of right now. I'm only halfway through. That's just my opinion, honestly, and it feels like the author essentially used thesaurus.com to switch out words to make the main character sound smart and more pretentious. It just doesn't flow. I've got a lot of issues with it. Hey guys, so it is later on in the day. I just finished reading By the Book by Amanda Zealot, and I have to say, actually, I am pleasantly surprised with the ending. I feel like maybe I was a little bit harsh in my last update, but I am like pleased, and I like the way it ended. I'm very shocked that I ended up enjoying the ending so much. So I basically just like flew through the second half in like one sitting, and it was still kind of a little rocky for like 50 or so pages after my last update, but then I'd say the last 100 pages, honestly, was really good. I'm very happy. Like, I liked the friendship aspect. I liked owning up to one's mistakes. I really liked that theme and that message of this book. It just seemed like a completely different book. It's very interesting. Like, we got a lot more character development. We got to know people's motives a little bit more. Her family seemed so different than at the very beginning, which I liked. It's like they were putting on a show at first, and then as we were following Mary's journey and, you know, kind of going through the book more, we got to really see the true, like her true parents and her siblings and stuff like that. Her little brother is hilarious. There's a lot of really actually fun characters that kind of played out towards the like second half of the book. I still kind of stand by the originality. I feel like there were a lot of scenes taken or like ideas taken from other books, a little like hodgepodge of everything. So like John Tucker Must Die, a little bit of the Laura Jean trilogy with like the letters at the end, just things like that. But the characters did start to become their own, and I really love the friendship aspect. It went in a good direction. It wasn't Mean Girl-esque. I was worried it was going to be very much like Mean Girls, but it wasn't like that at all. And I really like that. I love how much they focused on friendship in this book. So yeah, ultimately, I am going to rate this book like a 3 to a 3.5. I think this will be a really good book to discuss, honestly, because there's like pros and cons. So our live show is going to be tonight, Sunday, June 14th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. We really hope that you will be able to join our live show and we can talk about By the Book. I have a lot to say. I'm very excited to discuss this with Hannah. I really hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!